scheme building needs.
As you know, Mr. Day, we're not going to be talking specifically about your scheme today.
Thank you, Ma'am. My name is Antony Jones. I work for Royal Planning. I'm here today representing RRW Estates and Defence Infrastructure organisation. Our primary interest is in land at resettlement and mitigation.
James Stevens, I'm Strategic Planner with the Home Builders Federation. The Home Builders Federation is a trade body, trade federation, which represents house builders, large and small, responsible for about 80% of all for sale new homes built in the UK.
I'm Councillor Bridget Smith. I'm the leader of the South Cambs of the Democrat Group. I'm a ward member for Gamlingay Ward. I'm a member of Gamlingay Environmental Action Group.
Good morning, my name is Mike Brattle. I'm the Director of the Gamlingay Community Wind Turbine. We are a founder member of Community Energy England, and I'm here to represent the interests of community-based clean energy.
Good morning, I'm Emma Davis. I'm Senior Sustainability Officer Design and Construction for Cambridge City Council, but here today providing some technical advice for colleagues in South Cambridgeshire.
Good morning, Jenny. I'm Senior Planning Policy Officer at South Cambridge.
John Justin, Principal Planning Policy Officer at South Cambs, and I should also introduce Rachel Beasley of Cambridge City Council, a sustainable drainage engineer who also provides advice to South Cambridge.
Thank you. We'll turn then to my agenda for today, which broadly follows the matters and issues that were set out at an earlier stage. I should say that this is a topic where matters have moved on significantly since the plan was submitted. And the Council has brought forward a range of major modifications which were consulted on towards the end of last year, beginning of this year. I have taken out a couple of my original issues which are not on today's agenda because it seemed to me that they've been rendered redundant in the light of the Council's proposed modifications. Now, not all of you round the table have an interest in all of the items that are going to be discussed, and so I shall only be looking for contributions on particular topics from those of you who have relevant representations. But I hope that we can have a reasonably free-flowing discussion. There's a lot on the agenda, but it may be that we can make good progress with this today. So turning then to the first issue, which is questions in relation to policy CC1. My first question, the Council's response in their statement is that this will be set out in a supplementary planning document. Mr. Day, perhaps I could ask you to kick off the discussion. You all have had the benefit of reading the Council's statement now.
Yes, we have. Thank you, Mum. I think the key question for ourselves would always support the direction of travel. In terms of the SPV, we wanted to understand the content of the proposed SPV, the shape, and also the level of target that it might set. So without having a better understanding of the SPV, it's quite difficult to comment further, other than, of course, we would support the approach that obviously the agreements of the NDPF and direction of travel setting in government policy. So it's difficult to comment further on.
Mr. Dixon, or one of your colleagues?
The council has required sustainability statements for some time now. It was introduced to our framework, and I think we found it quite a successful way of testing how proposals meet the NDPF's requirements to address climate change issues. The council certainly feels that it's provided an appropriate level of detail in the plan itself, setting out the headings that will be addressed. In terms of the content of the SPD, clearly we intend to review to update in light of the new local plan, that's available, but we have already got the district design guide which sets out how the issues currently mentioned in the ODF are to be addressed. And really it's helpful guidance setting out how each of those measures can be dealt with, the sort of issues that should be picked up. I wouldn't say, you mentioned the word targets, I wouldn't say set targets beyond what's in the plan. It may provide guidance on how an applicant might demonstrate compliance with that and address the range of climate change issues that are addressed by the plan. So I think, from experience, the council thinks the SPD is the right way to go, having used that route up to this point.
I've only got comments to this matter, of course, with clarity.
Okay, Mr. Stevens, did you want to comment?
Thank you very much, Ma'am. Yes, I did comment on this policy way back in October 2013, in the original consultation. And of course, as you said, things have moved on in those subsequent 3 years. To a certain extent, the policy and the legislative context has changed. When I originally commented on this policy, it was really in the sense that I thought that this was largely a matter for the building regulations. But that was really just a representation to the council to make a case that perhaps they should reduce the burdens on applicants and to try and just recognise that there are some things which are better dealt with under the building control regime. But actually my comments since then have received greater force as a consequence of the government's housing standards review. And of course the written ministerial statement of the 25th of March 2015. And I really don't think the council should be asking for any sustainability statements or really setting out any more detail on how applicants should go about meeting the building regulations. Because as the written ministerial statement says, it says that from the date of the deregulation bill 2015, local planning authorities should not set in their emerging local plans or supplementary planning documents any additional local technical standards or requirements related to the construction of the internal layout of performance and new dwellings. And I think the request, the demand, I really should say, that applicants submit a sustainability statement is a requirement which isn't really allowed under policy, national policy any longer. The aim of the Housing Standards Review and how the government has articulated those outcomes through its written ministerial statement is designed to reduce burdens and help bring forward much needed homes. And I don't think the sustainability statement does that. This is a matter now for the building regulations. And the council, it's not a planning matter. And the planning part of the council really delete this into local planning and recognise that the aim of the Housing Standards Review is to rationalise the whole load of different standards, to reduce clarity, to reduce confusion, and the plethora of additional requirements which are placed on applicants to jump through the hoops on the part of the council. I don't think it's in conformity with national policy anymore. I think it should be deleted from the local plan.
I have to fundamentally disagree. I think climate change and proposals contract is fundamentally a planning matter. It's enshrined in the Planning Act, and the two issues actually mentioned in the Planning Act, not just the NPPF. And the NPPF does mention a range of issues related to climate change that need to be addressed. The Council needs to have evidence submitted to it to show whether the issues have been properly addressed. I think we're clear in our evidence and in the policy itself, certainly not seeking to duplicate building regulations, but there are a whole raft of issues related to climate change that go well beyond the technical matters addressed in building regs, and it would make responding to climate change extremely difficult if those issues weren't addressed through the planning application process with evidence.
Mr. Stevens, can I just ask you whether you've looked at what the PPG says about this? Because it does indicate that local plans should include policies in relation to climate change. There's a whole section on it.
Yeah, and I don't think the PPG or the NPPF is actually caught up with the Ministerial Statement of 25th of March 2015. That is the direction of travel of national policy. And the Ministerial Statement is quite clear. You have building regulations, including the two optional technical standards in relation to Part 10 and water, which local authority may adopt, and the National Prescribed Space Standard. And that's a lot. We can't have it anymore. And as it says very clearly, local authorities cannot ask for any additional local technical standards or requirements related to the construction, internal, layout, and performance of new roads. Now, there is a debate that we will come on to later on under C2 in terms of what the local authority can do in law and what it can do on policy, particularly in requiring an improvement upon Part L, which is what the council's latest change seems to be applying. And there is a debate about that. But at the moment, I think it's sustainability statements or setting out what the council requires of the SDG isn't in sympathy with the direction of travel of national policy.
If I may just pick up that the sustainability statement will cover a whole range of issues that are not included within the building control regime. I would agree that there are certain elements that have been brought into building control, and they are very much focused on energy and energy efficiency in new developments, as well as the topic of water efficiency and also national space standards. But what the council will be seeking to see developers demonstrate through the sustainability statement is their approach to responding to a whole range of measures. So as an example, sustainable drainage systems and the implementation of sustainable drainage, architectural responses to some of the climate risks facing the area. So a very hot topic at the moment, for example, is the issue of overheating, and while that is very loosely dealt with through building regulations, I think there is a key recognition of the role of architectural design in responding to the issues of overheating, for example, which is best to be picked up through the planning process, which is very much focused on architectural design of new developments. And I think also slightly wide approaches to some of the challenges that we face through climate change, which again is not something that is really picked up through the building control regime, which is much more focused on, say, an individual dwelling approach to certain issues, whereas planning is much better suited at looking at those site-wide approaches, which we would promote for all scale of developments. Obviously, some developments will be able to do other things that smaller developments will not be able to do. But I think that's the whole focus of the sustainability statement, and allowing developers to show how they are using the principles of sustainable design and construction to meet the principles of sustainable development as enshrined in the NPPF.
I think there are two issues here. There is an approach that you can have to architectural design to place it in sustainability, that it would be legitimate for the council to set out a policy as they plan. The problem is that it isn't clear how far the council is going to intrude into technical matters in terms of the construction, performance and layout of buildings. And that's our concern, because it is quite clear in the ministerial statement that this is no longer a matter that the council can interfere in, because it's precisely the interference by the local land authorities in these matters, each local authority deciding that they have better view about how to approach community building regulations, that has contributed to poor overall household delivery, and that's the government's view, that's not the HBS view, and that's clearly articulated in the ministerial statement. So I think we need to have some very clear separation as to what is a place in that view of sustainable design type approach in terms of layout, in terms of massing, etc., and what are technical matters. And if it's a technical matter, the council has no business requiring from an applicant a sustainability statement.
It's an interesting question. Would you like us to respond to that?
Let's leave that one. And I appreciate there's a lot of overlap between the questions that I've raised, but we'll come back to that under item 3. So I think we can move on now to the second item, second question, which is whether the information required in the sustainability statement should be proportionate to the nature and scale of the development proposed. And I think that the council has suggested a modification to include some wording to reflect this. That's included in your statement. Mr. Day, your representations are that it should be clear that this only relates to developments of 10 dwellings or over, I think.
That's correct.
Yes. Do you feel that the council's proposed modification in their statement meets your concerns?
Again, we don't develop at that scale, which is really simplicity stated. We were thinking that sustainability statement needs to be proportionate to the locality. We're thinking 10 years or less, a suitable statement, but we're not really arguing against, we will go with.
So the council is well aware of the need for information to be proportionate and reasonable to transport. However, in preparing this plan, the councils were also aware that these issues very much apply to small developments as much as large. So made clear that those principles should be addressed by all scales of development. However, we obviously know that a small development, less than 10 dwellings, isn't going to provide tailored information as a new settlement, for example. Hopefully, our proposed modification current floating last statement provides further clarification to that. Obviously, the SPD is another example or another opportunity to clarify that further. We think a common sense approach can be taken and benefits that policy can be secured for a small development as well as the large.
Okay, I must admit I found myself wondering if someone was putting in a householder application, how they would be able to respond to this, and whether having to produce a sustainability statement when you want to put a conservatory on your house. I mean, they would still be required to comply with building regs in relation to that development, but I did wonder whether it might be seen as disproportionate to that sort of very small scale of planning application.
I think we agree when you get into a small extension, clearly that would require a statement. When you get into small numbers of dwellings, those issues start to become relevant. That is something we could address further lenience would be, yes, I agree the council would take a common sense approach with their household applications.
Okay, thank you. I think we can move on then to the third point, which is the point that Mr. Stevens has already raised. So I'll ask the council to respond to what Mr. Stevens has said.
David again's been quite clear that the role of the statement is not to duplicate the role of building regulations. It may be that there are references in such a statement showing how certain issues have been addressed. It's not creating additional building regulations to have requirements or requirements that can't be reasonably put in an local plan. So we think the two very much work alongside each other, and reiterating the previous point, there was a very important role for these sustainability statements in demonstrating compliance with requirements to respond to climate change.
Mr. Stevens?
Mark, you've heard my point on this really. I think this falls under it's a requirement. It's an additional requirement which the ministerial statement says that local authorities should ask. It's diametrically opposed to what the government's trying to achieve through its association.
Okay, Mr. Day, in your statement, you said that you support the modifications that the council has brought forward in relation to.
We support the direction of travel in terms of the SPD, as I mentioned earlier. We need to seek further clarity in listening to Mrs. Davis's comments in terms of how placemaking might be effective or influenced or benefit from. I think it's that level of discussion that we need to have, and we've successfully had those discussions with Cambs City Council, the records on them. So we support the direction of travel, but of course we would like to see further clarity on the SPD settings.
Well, you would, of course, have an opportunity to comment on the SPD because there's a requirement for consultation on that. Anything else that the council wants to add? No? Okay. I suggest then that we move on to 2B. And the first question that I'd ask is whether this policy as proposed to be modified is consistent with the written ministerial statement of the 18th of June 2015. Mr. Stevens, I'm going to ask you to start the discussion.
Thank you very much, Mark. Well, this came as something as a surprise. And of course things have moved on since I originally made my representation in October 2013, where the government was undertaking its review on allowable solutions, how applicants would go about meeting part A of the regulations. And then the government abandoned that programme, mainly because they couldn't make it work, particularly with regard to plans. Achieve the zero carbon standard. And then it was overtaken by the productivity plan fixing foundations in July last year, where the government said we would temporarily suspend the zero carbon homes programme. And why I say it's become a surprise is that trying to monitor the council's modifications since then, and I looked at the proposed modifications arising from the government's written ministerial statement of November 2015. That was the council's document back then. And then again in its proposed mods of December 2015. And then again in the schedule of proposed mods in March 2016. In all three of those documents, the council was saying that they would adhere to the current level of the building regulations. They would adhere to what was set out in the ministerial statement, that in effect the applicants are only required to meet Part L of the building regulations. And then, reading the statement for this examination, I see that the council is actually proposing a 10% improvement on Part L. that is on page 9 in response to your question of SC2C2. In paragraph 30, the council says that 10% carbon emissions reduction requirement over and above the building regulations. So that is very different from what the council has consulted on. And that would amount to a main modification to the local plan. And I think that has implications in terms of consultation. The point though is what the council proposing in the spirit of national policy? What the council is doing is lawful because the relevant part of the Planning and Energy Act hasn't been removed through the Deregulation Act of 2015. That bit has still to be enacted. That would specify that councils cannot require applicants to comply with the level that is above current Part A regulations. So what the council is proposing in a 10% reduction above Part A is lawful, but it isn't in the spirit of national policy. I was having this debate, the same debate at Cambs last week, and you will be aware now that the Mayor of London has actually ignored what the government is wanting to do and said we've got to go down our own path. And in fact, the Mayor of London is seeking zero carbon emissions from now on in 2016. So it's a debate that I'm having in London about whether, although what they're doing is lawful, whether it's actually the spirit of what the government is trying to achieve, which is to rationalise the standards to avoid confusion, to provide absolute clarity across the country, namely that all you can do is building regulations, including the current Part A energy, the two options of the standards in terms of access to water and the national prescribed space standard, and that's your suite of policies relating to technical standards. So I was concerned to read that in paragraph 30. And that's essentially what I want to say about it. I'd be interested in the council's response.
Okay, Mr. Dixon?
So, Mr. Councillor, which question are you dealing with?
Yeah, I must admit, I think, Mr. Stevens, you're addressing my question under SC2C2. Which is no, sorry, that's policy CC3, isn't it? In Merton, you're talking about the Merton rule requirement.
Well, I don't try not to talk about that because I think it's defunct, but yes, sorry, because I addressed
common
CC3.
parlance, these sort of requirements are often referred to as the Merton rule because London Borough of Merton were the first to adopt this sort of policy. What you just said is relevant to...
I've answered the wrong question. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, CC2, which is in terms of how applicants connect up to decentralised energy networks.
No, policy CC2 is about renewable and low carbon energy generation. Planning permissions for proposals to generate energy from renewable and low carbon sources will be permitted provided that. And then there's a series of criteria.
Okay, yeah, I think all I said, all I wanted to say on it, and I touched upon this in my representations of October 2013, is that I accept that things have probably moved on now. As I said, the government has abandoned its allowed solutions investigation, which would enable, which was a view, it was a study that the government was going to undertake to enable people to know how to go about into Part A building
Yeah,
regulations.
no, I still think you're addressing the wrong point. This is a policy which relates to proposals that come forward for renewable energy, such as wind turbines and solar panels.
Oh, I have
and
nothing to
so
say
on.
on that, sorry. That's why I was confused, because I wouldn't comment on solar energy.
Okay, well, according to my list, you did make a representation about this policy, but without looking in. Yes, what you said in your representations is that bullet 1B is unsound. And 1B is the development can be connected efficiently to existing national energy infrastructure, or it can be demonstrated that the energy generated would be used for on-site needs only. And you say in your representations the policy is too prescriptive, not consistent with the government's changes to the building regulations and its definition of allowable solutions.
Yes,
You
well, I think
recommend
things have
this
moved on.
part
That's
is
the problem.
deleted.
Yeah, I think things have moved on.
Right,
So I
okay.
wouldn't have that.
Well, I think we've got to the point, so I'll ask the council if they wish to respond to that.
So specifically about the point about the connections for the road, that point, which we addressed in our statement, responding to representations with another proposed modification, paragraph 23.
Yes, you've proposed another modification to criterion 1B. Does that address your concerns, Mr. Stevens?
I don't have any comment.
Okay. The other point that Mr. Stevens made in his representation, which I did just briefly want to follow up with you, he says, secondly, under the CDM regulations, anyone that specifies a particular material technology could be deemed under law to be the principal designer. You misspelt principal, Mr. Stevens, but anyway, I think we all understand the point. This carries with it legal responsibilities. So if a fatality occurs as a consequence of the council specifying the use of a particular technology, then the council could be legally liable. I'm sure this is probably something that you've thought through.
We have actually checked with our barrister with regards to the response. The CDM regulations relate to specific construction projects and are not applicable to the development of strategic policies in the same way as they would not be applicable to the government when developing the building regulation standards. So as I say, we have checked with our barrister. He does not consider this to be an issue for the local plan, given that it is a specific piece of regulation for construction projects and not the development of strategic policy. And this policy is specifically, as you've already mentioned, focused on large kind of standalone renewable energy projects. So you can be comfortable in that.
Do you want to pursue that point any further,
No.
Mr. Stevens? Okay, thank you.